Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Julie sits in her dark living room and stares blankly. When Chad gets home, he turns on the light. She acknowledges that she avoids going to bed for as long as possible because she feels lonely without Doug. Julie breaks out as she remembers her Californian friend telling her that she missed her late spouse every single hour of the day. Julie is now haunted by her words. Julie closes her eyes as she sits in her robe on the couch. Chad turns on the light switch behind her. She ought to have noticed Doug's shortcomings, but he never voiced any complaints. Was she simply unwilling to see it? Because she wasn't paying attention, was she at fault? She was an amazing wife, according to Chad. She was a blessing to Doug. He experienced the same sense of inadequacy following Abby's death, so it must be a natural aspect of grief. That may be the case, but Julie is unable to identify herself and doesn't know who she is. But you will, says Chad. You simply need to have patience. Julie fears that he will have to experience Abigail's loss once more. Chad claims that since Kat is in Vancouver and her mother is being held by the police, they are no longer concerned about it. He saw a different side of her, but he is unsure of when or if they will see her again. The fact that she was merely attempting to save her mother's life was difficult to overlook. Although he doesn't fully forgive her, he now has a greater understanding of her. Julie inquires if he feels anything for her. Julie is reassured by Chad that there would be no conflict between him and Kat Green. Kat tells Marlena at a table in the square. Kat walks up to Marlena's table in the square and expresses regret for her disgraceful actions. Marlena is aware of Clyde's potential. Appreciating that, Kat requests to talk to John about her mother's situation in Greece. Since John is out of town, Marlena asks Kat to tell her. According to Kat's account, her grandmother was prevented from leaving with their daughter, Katharina, since she was stuck in an abusive marriage to Constantine. She therefore asked Victor for assistance. John was dispatched by Victor to Greece to pretend that Katharina had died. John pretended to be warning Constantine, but in reality, he was fabricating Katharina's death to allow Constantine's wife to depart and raise her daughter in secret in the United States. John saved Katharina's life, thus he did more than just assist. Your husband is a hero. Hearing the truth makes Marlena happy. Kat is glad to be cheering someone up for once after all the anguish and misery she has inflicted. Holly questions a bruised Doug III in a Kiriaki's bedroom about the true reason he didn't want her to call the police regarding his mugging. He acknowledges that he was still short after selling the Horton time capsule necklace to pay for a debut. Holly is furious, but Doug can't be honest with Julie since he cares about her. He's hoping Holly won't, too. A smiling Xander is sitting on the couch in the Kiriaki's mansion, frowning, while Sarah is standing behind him. Xander screams to Sarah in the living room downstairs about Philip abandoning his plan to destroy the Demoras and about that stupid bloody letter that helped make Philip his co-CEO. Sarah finds out that Xander intended to violate the law just a little bit in order to accomplish his goal, but Philip disapproved of his strategies. Because Xander must be there for her and Victoria, Sarah doesn't either. She is reassured by Xander that his family comes first. He pledges to dedicate his entire life to gaining her respect and affection. Sarah agrees to dedicate her life to ensuring he follows the rules in exchange. She's the expert, he jokes. Sarah intends to present Kayla with the study she has been working on and inform her that she wishes to resume her full-time job after they canoodle. Although he is thrilled to hear it, Xander initially requests another kiss. She complies gladly. Stephanie's jaw drops as she hears Philip discussing the falsified letter with Kate over the phone at Titan. When she questions him about it, Philip acknowledges that Vivian falsified the letter and claims he is deserving of Titan's leadership. She accuses him of being dishonest and screams at him for endangering her and Belle's careers because they assisted him. Philip wants to discuss it during supper. She says impatiently, "There is no dinner. You and I are actually done." She wants to terminate things over this, which surprises Philip. She reminds him that what he did was illegal and that she will not allow him to put her in danger ever again. She's actually ending things because she wants to be with Alex, he thinks. What he thinks is irrelevant to Stephanie. I've left this place. Stephanie has a stunned expression on her face as her eyes bulge. In the square, Kat informs Marlena that her brother Aaron has enough credits to graduate early and is staying with their mother in Vancouver. She needs a job, but she will stay there and take care of Felicity. Marlena offers to interview her and states that she needs a new assistant. Kat is appreciative. Chad receives a note at the Horton house regarding a problem with tomorrow's paper. Before he departs, he says that Julie would benefit from speaking with Marlena. She will consider it. Holly's silence at the Kiriakis' mansion is agreed to. Although she disapproves of Doug's actions, she recognizes that his life was in jeopardy. It still is, he says. It will be worse the next time if he doesn't figure out a method to pay back what he owes. Since they don't get along and finding a job will take too long, he can't approach his dad for money. Holly proposes to request a loan from her loaded grandmother. Why would she do that for him, he wonders. Holly notes that she doesn't want to see him die because he has supported her through her Tate struggle. Doug says he will reimburse her, but it will take some time. On it, they tremble. She walks away to clean his shirt of the blood. He sits on the bed with Doug by his side. His wince transforms into an enigmatic smile. It turns revealed that John had only made it appear as though his daughter Katharina was dead, despite Constantine's belief that the former pawn had killed her. Why? Marlena was informed by Kat that her grandmother, Elizabeth, had been forced into a terrible and violent marriage with Constantine. Elizabeth had contacted Victor in a desperate attempt to escape. John remembered that he had traveled to Greece at Victor's request to convey a warning, but it had gone horribly wrong and Katharina had died. In reality, though, he had flown abroad to assist Elizabeth in staging Katharina's death. Elizabeth was able to flee the villain and raise her daughter covertly in the United States after Constantine thought she had died. For fans, the twist is bittersweet. On the one hand, it's good to know that John is innocent. As if we ever believed he was capable of doing it. However, it's tragic that John isn't around to experience the well-earned relief that comes with learning the truth. Due to Drake Hodgson's real-life death, whose absence will always be remembered deeply, the character will not survive the special task he is on for Shane, as we all too well know. Julie, who is alone herself at the Horton house, stops at the stairway and then slowly ascends a few steps. She pauses in the middle, looking dejected. She sighs heavily and responds, "No. Not this evening." She looks at Doug's picture as she returns to the living room. She curls up with a blanket on the couch, her face contorted in misery. Julie stands with her head bent at the foot of the Horton staircase, dressed in a robe. A bewildered Chad literally runs into Kat on the square. In an attempt to contact John, Marlena calls Shane outside the pub. He needs to know something really vital. Xander opens his laptop in the Kiriakis' home to look for additional ways to increase Titan's earnings. He cynically remarks, pending Philip's approval, of course, before growling at Victor for penning that dreadful letter. Philip leaves Stephanie an apologetic voicemail at Titan. However, he must also be aware that she would not disclose the falsified letter to anybody. In Kayla's office, Stephanie discovers Sarah dropping off her study. Philip has no business co-CEOing with Xander, Stephanie informs her.